Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Improve Podcast, the official podcast of Classic Studios. I'm your host, Chase Collins, and happy Monday, everybody. Happy President's Day. Look at that, a timely intro with the holiday that's occurring. That is a first for Classic Studios. Maybe a second. But no, in all seriousness, happy Monday, everybody. I hope you all achieve your goals this week. I hope you all set your goals this week and work on those. I have some good updates for goals for me for this week. So if you want to stick around towards the end of the podcast, I'll be sure to update you all there. This week on the podcast, we do have my cousin, my friend JD, who is a young professional. He just graduated with his MBA and is in the young professional world trying to get his feet settled as he tries to figure out a balance between his professional life and his creative life and what that really looks like. And he has a lot of good, conversations and lessons and things to think about as a young professional. If you're a young professional listening and are getting into the world and are looking to find a balance, there's some good nuggets in here, as well as a new secret project that he has an idea for. So we'll see if it turns into anything, but I'm excited to share it for you all. There are some visual elements as well, so if you want to maybe go to the YouTube to see some of that visual elements, feel free to do that. I also was sick while recording this episode, so sorry if my energy's low, but I will see you all at the end for the outro. Bye!
Improve Podcast. Improve Podcast. Improve Podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast, dude. I'm glad to have you back on. Hopefully we'll get this audio sorted out so we don't have another snafu like last time. That was
I think we can.
big
I think we'll have it
goof
pretty good.
on my part. So sorry about that.
It was definitely on my end. Definitely on my end. But yeah, no, we've got it sorted out, and it's gonna sound good this time.
Yeah, that's right. No, yeah, dude. So, what's been up? We haven't really caught up, in a minute. I think last time we talked, you were, working on some stand-up comedy stuff. I don't know if that's still what you're working towards or what, but I'm excited to hear what you got cooking.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's both stand-up comedy and music. That's like the two things that I always come back to.
Yeah.
As far as stuff that I just love to actually do. But like I said, I got to figure out the professional side of things first, as far as my career, getting my money right and all that stuff before, I'm able to sit down and actually have a clear head whenever I'm just carefree, everything's fine, I'm not gonna die under a bridge,
Sure. Yeah. I'm exactly that way. I gotta. And that's all the people who I'm talking to. I'm trying to get folks who are working professionals, putting in that 40-hour, 60-hour work week, and also doing the creative passion projects on the side, or not even creative passion projects, just what else do you have going on in your life? It's super important to be, a holistic individual, well-rounded and everything like that.
Totally.
Nice, man.
Couldn't agree more.
So you said you're going back to comedy and music or something?
Yeah, I mean, that's just what I always come back to as far as the hobbies. I definitely get distracted trying to keep my life together.
Oh yeah.
Just like everybody else. But every time I get a brief moment, with a clear head, I'm yes, sit down and take care of some business as far as those two things go.
Nice.
Like what we were talking about before, I'm kind of transitioning from I'm trying to transition from my current job in Scottsdale to a new position somewhere in Dallas, just to be closer to the people, my people, and definitely trying to make some more money, because I'm not getting paid enough to live out here in Scottsdale. It's not. Scottsdale is just so expensive.
Oh really? Wow.
Oh my god, dude. Cost of living, everything sucks.
Dang.
Tired of it. Plus it's hot 8 months out of the year. It's literally just the worst.
Yeah.
And then 4 months, right now, 4 months out of the year, it's a nice 68, 72. It's pretty nice.
That's pretty good.
But otherwise,
Hot.
you want to die. You want to die. It's the worst. My God. Great pool days. I will say.
Ooh.
But good Lord, if you don't put on some sunscreen, you will die. You will
Yeah.
die.
I had a friend who used to live out in Arizona, and it was like he was talking about how it's so hot that like if you put your hand on the hood of your car and it was black, it would like burn your fingertips.
Dude, yeah, that's like how you that's how you get rid of your fingerprints.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're criminals, they're running rampant out here in Arizona just because everybody can just get rid of their fingerprints, no problem. It's easy. They're learning and they've adapted to the climate, and they just they're like cops pull someone over. They're like, we don't know who this guy is. He's got no fingerprints.
Yeah, they're using their environment to their advantage right there.
Sneaky criminals.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely trying to get the heck out of here. You're starting a new position though, eh?
That's right, man. Yeah, I at the time of recording this, I'm starting my new job tomorrow, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, I'm making a transition away from my current company to work for a new company, which presented me with like a great opportunity to progress, I guess, professionally. Like I think it's going to be a little bit more responsibility, better compensation for like where I am at professionally. So I'm looking forward to that as well. It's and like I have goals and ambitions outside of like just the creative topics that I talk about all the time. Like I want to, become like a real estate investor, and I want to, make strategic moves in the real estate game. And you can't do that on the salary that I was on prior to taking this job. But now that, I got this new position, I'm able to like look towards the future in a more strategic way from like a investment perspective. So I'm really excited to start like diving into that a little bit more.
Bro, that is exciting. Sounds like you're about to become like the next Donald Trump or something. Just like slinging houses. Like, oh, you want to buy this beautiful mansion, this beautiful New York mansion for $30 million? Just throwing around houses, throwing around properties. You should get a spray tan also. Bleach your hair, get a spray tan. You're the next Donald Trump. It's going to be great.
Dude, I do need to get some tans, bro. For someone who lives in Florida, I've never go outside. I'm like as pale as a ghost. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty funny. I mean, dude, you used to be super dark. You were a lifeguard for like a hot minute, eh?
Yeah, I was a lifeguard for like 4 years in high school, and it sounds like you're gonna be at least like taking steps towards something. I don't know what your goals are like professionally or financially, and we don't really have to get into that, especially if that's not what you wanted to talk about today. But it seems like you're kind of in a similar boat, dude. It's exciting. Because you had this last job for like a year and a half?
Yeah, so I started this this position January 31st.
Oh, sick.
And I'll tell you right now, from then to now, the kid is unrecognizable, honestly.
Oh, in terms of it being like a professional?
Yeah, and everything else as well, just like personal growth as well, all that stuff. It's been a good year for me as far as just like getting your head right,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
recovering
sick.
from the pandemic and other bullshit. Everyone's got, pardon my French, everyone's got, but just in recovery mode this year. Now it's time to make money moves, get back to the motherland, aka Texas, and definitely like reach for something better, because professional goals, I got them too, so
Hell yeah.
yeah, just gonna be reaching for those. Pretty much all it equates to is more money. I just just give me more money.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more valuable now than I was. I undervalued myself at this company whenever I started there. So that's been tough, but not a mistake I'll make again.
Right.
And then
Yeah, that's right,
free.
because you were coming in with a master's degree. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I really screwed myself pretty well.
But, dude, I mean, a master's degree is nice and everything like that, but having that on-the-job training and experience, like, that is priceless. That's what, like, recruiters and stuff, they like to see diplomas, but having, like, experience in the field that you're trying to work in, like, that's critical, even if it's just like an internship or something like that. But yeah, it's you're in good shape, man, and like I think this next position will be, and you have so much to learn too. Like you've only been working for like a year and a half.
Oh yeah.
Or a year, so you got more to learn too.
Yeah, a little bit less than a year. Once I get to Dallas, if I can find something good, get a cool little spot, build a nice little fun world around me that makes me feel good, that's whenever that's whenever you can start to focus on the other things that make you happy, like other than you take care of yourself, then you take care of like whatever your passion projects are. And we'll see, we shall see.
That's good, man. I'm really excited for you. I'm hopeful that whatever job opportunities come your way are like good, and that they come your way soon, and that they're they give you everything that you want. Speaking of like creative stuff, I know maybe you're not quite in the position you want to be in to start really like dedicating the time and attention those need in order for them to like thrive and flourish or whatever, but you did send me some pictures the other day that sort of sparked the wanting to jump on another pod, and I was curious if you wanted to dive into what those were. They were such an enigma. I had no idea. I was so curious. I was like, what are these images? Tell me.
Yeah, like what am I looking at right now? Yeah, no, I just sent that to you kind of like out of the blue. It was interesting. I was in church with the fam on Christmas Day, and I wasn't really listening, but like I was just kind of in my own head.
Sure.
And for some reason, like I don't know, these kind of images just kind of came into my brain that were like really kind of like inspiring and insightful as far as like my state of mind for the past 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
So that's what those are essentially. I'm gonna pull out my copy over here. I sent you a copy, but
yeah, let me check it out.
Honestly, the end goal for this little project thing right here would be to have it like digitally animated.
Yeah.
And like, professionally, so it looks super cool and not super not cool. But
sure. So what are these, like what, so yeah, you sent me a couple of like thumbnail sketches, I guess I would call these, of I don't know, they sort of look like logos or something that represents you, and obviously they're thumbnail sketches, so you want to get them created by like a graphic artist or a digital not creator but a graphic artist. And what are these? Are they like profile pictures for like a YouTube channel or a project, or what do you think? Where do you envision, what is this? Yeah, where do you envision this going?
I don't know what the application for them is for. I really don't know what the application is for. Like what I would apply them to, what kind of content they would be a part of. For me, it was just kind of like getting these thoughts out on paper. It was kind of therapeutic for me because they're just graphic visualizations of my mental state for the past like 3 or 4 years. The first one on the top left, that one's gonna be frustration. That one is frustration. The next one on the right is confusion. The one on the bottom left is focus. And then the one on the bottom right is kind of like zen. I don't know.
That's
inner
cool.
peace. Right? So I marked it red, but on the first one there's the solid circle with the shading. It's supposed to be like a heat lamp. And that's like everything that you choose to worry about, but you could also choose not to worry about. That's that barrier all the way around you, kind of separating you from like the outside world and anything that you might hope to gain from it. Anything that you might hope to prioritize, you can't, because your thoughts are bouncing off that barrier. Everything you think and do just kind of comes back and blows up in your face. and it's disorienting because you have no organization of thought.
Yeah.
You're locked in that little box, right? But then you start, you move over to the right, you start directing some of those thoughts, kind of focusing them, putting them in an organized pattern. You start to see a couple of cracks on the barrier, it's kind of melting away a little bit, letting all that stuff that you could choose not to worry about, but you choose to anyway, let it melt away, just fall off you. And you're like confused, like, what's going on here? I didn't know that was a thing. What's happening, right? And then go down to the bottom left. We are like, oh, this is working. We got to keep doing it. Let's keep continuing to get better at this. You focus them at, a couple weak points in that little anxiety barrier, break it down. Now you've got these confusing little swirls trying to, grab on to the outside world, the things you want to prioritize, the things that make you happy. You're swirling around, not really sure even what to do. You're like, oh my God, I'm here now. What do I do with it? And then, you go over to the right. You got the piece. The thoughts are flowing from your mind, effortlessly, going up and kind of encompassing everything that you were unable to get at before because that barrier's gone and it's all just kind of flowing. And I would say I kind of bounce back and forth between 2 and 3 right now. Here and there, there's like a little bit of 4, but I'm trying to get to 4 and like stay at 4. So,
dude, that's really cool. That's sick. That I didn't realize there was like a whole story associated with these. But that's really cool. I'm glad you walked me through that story. That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to focus on anything or do anything whenever you've got all that going on in your head. And if you can find a way, like visualizing it for me was like huge. Just like, oh, like this makes so much sense to me. I don't know how much sense it makes to like a third party person, but like,
yeah. No, I think it's something that like can resonate with a lot of people. I think there's like so many people are, I think, honing back to square number 1, are frustrated. Like there's a sense of like perpetual frustration that I feel like with me personally. At least a couple of years ago, I was like, I couldn't figure out what was going on and I didn't know how to solve my problems. And definitely it took a lot of me being a idiot to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just being a giant moron and getting angry. And like, yeah, it's interesting. I'm almost like, I don't know. I think you could easily, my like initial thought of this was, it was like I thought they were thumbnail sketches of like 4 different ideas for like what a logo could look like. But now I'm thinking maybe it could be like its whole like own animation like story or something like that with I don't know. It could be like an interesting animation.
Yeah, because I mean these images are like meant to illustrate like a linear story that it's kind of like my brain's story for the past like 1 to 3 years.
Yeah. It'd be cool to like if you could put. Well, maybe not even. I was thinking like putting a narrative over top of it with like an animation of with these stills animated. It could be an interesting like movie. But then now like I'm thinking maybe it doesn't even need a like vocals, like a narration over top of it. It could just let this picture speak for themselves.
Yeah, if it was animated to where like there's it's more it has more descriptors that tell the story without talking.
Yeah, exactly.
It's there's a have you ever listened to The Phantom Regret by Jim? It's a Weeknd song.
No.
It's on his most recent album. It's called The Phantom Regret by Jim. And essentially, like, there's no drum line, no bass line at all. He's just reading a poem.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a crazy poem. I listen to it all the time, and he's got a line in there that really, like, resonated with me. That I was, like, I literally, like, turned my head. I was like, oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
Like, oh, damn. And it goes, consider the flowers. They don't try to look right. They just open their petals and turn to the light. And I was like, oh, damn. Like, you know, how,
Wow.
you know, being right or wrong isn't really important. You know, what's important is just to be, I guess.
Yeah. That's really awesome. That's a great line. And, yeah. Yeah, because the flower, like, knows what's good for it. It'll seek out that nourishment and that sunlight on its own.
Yeah, it turns to the light naturally because that's what's good for it. Turns away from the darkness, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a cool line. Pretty cool line. I like it pretty good. Uh-huh.
That is really cool line. It's funny. I might have to cut this story out, but I'm working on this short film with a friend called Elijah. His name is Elijah, and the story is about sort of this this like artificial intelligence, like android creature or character becomes like sentient and then starts to take actions on her own accord. And
Is it Chappie?
What's that?
Is it Chappie?
It's not Chappie. I wish I wrote that movie. No.
That was a good movie.
I've never seen it, actually.
You never seen Chappie?
No.
I am Chappie. Dude. Damn.
I know. I'm weak.
Continue.
I gotta watch more
Continue.
movies. But he, when we first started writing this film, he had his idea of like where he wanted to take this story, and then I had my idea. And I didn't know this at the time, but he sort of based the film that inspired him was the Weekend album, Dawn FM. And that's why he named his movie Dawn, which is interesting. And before I even knew any of that, I wrote my story and we ended up merging them together, so they became like sort of one narrative. But the character who creates the artificial intelligence, I called him Jim. And so I think it's funny that the last song in the album is called Phantom Regret by Jim.
Yeah, interesting. Like I was trying to show somebody else. I think I was showing like one of my sisters the song, and I was like, have you heard the Phantom Regret by Jim? They're like, who's Jim? Who's Jim? I'm like, no, it's a Weekend song. They're like, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. I'm like, you're stupid. Just listen. Like,
it's like what Childish Gambino did on Because the Internet.
yeah.
Power 106. You gotta listen up. We got a new one for you. It's Lloyd called Oakland.
Yeah.
And then it's that
I
song,
know exactly what you're
Oakland.
talking about.
That song goes
That's a
hard
good
too.
one. Yeah, honestly, great album. Great album.
Yeah.
God, you're really just sniffing it all up into your brain, aren't you?
I know. I was planning on cutting out all those sniffs on my end. But now you just outed me as someone who's sick as a
I
dog.
Dude, he's not. He doesn't sound good, y'all.
I'm so
I'm not
sick.
sure if he's gonna make it. I don't know if he's gonna make it.
It's so bad, and like I have my first day of work tomorrow, and I'm just gonna power through, dude. Like I'm gonna load up on caffeine. I'm gonna take like 5 or 6 Tylenols and just like ride out the whole evening or day.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But so where do you want to take that? Those images that like I know you said you don't really know where they go, but like what do you have any? I don't know, any inkling?
No, I really don't. This might have just been like a thing
Like
for
a
me.
therapeutic.
Yeah, just like a therapeutic scribble sesh. I don't know. Like I literally started sketching something down in church. It's kind of funny how far it came from one thing to the other. That's the original like church sketch, which is like literally looks nothing like what
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, no, I don't really have any clue. I thought maybe if I could like get them like animated and looking cool, I could post them somewhere. Shoot, maybe I'll just post them on CLSC as just some art, some graphic digital art.
Dude, that would be sick. I'd be happy to post that photo.
Well, not of this, not of the piece of paper, but
No,
like
of course.
if they were like if they were ever like animated well, they could even be like, you know, those Call of Duty emblems that were like moving, like the cool ones that you would unlock that were like dope. They would like move. It's like a GIF almost.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they could be animated like that to where they're like moving ever so slightly as well.
That's cool.
That would be
Damn, that's interesting. I don't even know. I guess you can do that on Instagram, but that's sick. Yeah,
Yeah, just
JD,
some
I
sort
think
of,
that's a
like-
really cool idea.
yeah. Well, dude, I wanna. How do I find someone to animate it or graphic arts design media?
Well, I can
school?
help you out with that, man.
Yeah?
I mean, I can't do it myself, but I can. If we're introducing Classic Studios into the mix, dude, I could start being Mr. Producer and try and get some stuff going.
Yeah, that would be great, dude. I mean, I don't know what I would do with it other than just be like, look, ta-da, art. This came from my brain.
Nah, man. So here, I can give you some ideas of what you could do. You could do what we did when we were first trying to get our logo set up for Albo.
Oh yeah, source.
Yeah, we could. That's exactly what I would do. I would go on Freelancer and just say like, hey, I'm looking to turn these photos into like digital art, like illustration. Can somebody help me out? And see if anyone bites. You could either like host a challenge. I would probably recommend doing like one challenge for each photo, just so they're not like working on 4 different things at a time.
Yeah.
And then I would try to do, and then once you have like the photos locked down, then I would start reaching out about like turning them into like either like tiny animations or something like that. From there,
that'd be cool.
and once I'm healthier, I'd be much. I'd have more energy to talk about this, but I'd be interested in maybe potentially turning it into like that short story idea.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If that's what you want for this, man, like I have no idea.
Dude, I don't care, man. I don't have any like really ideas. You know, honestly, like you're the one that's throwing out ideas. I'm like, yeah, you know, that could be cool. I don't know.
We could even turn it into like, we could start writing a script for this character that's in the center. Like, what does he go through to like get from point A to point B? Like we see the 2 photos in between, but like what's the inciting incident? Like what sparks him to start, thinking and be confused? Like why does he become confused? And then we can start, like how does he discover like concentration is, one of the keys? And then, we could start really brainstorming, like get into this characters, and of course it's based on you, but we can take it further. Like it doesn't have to be completely autobiographical, but we can take this as far as you want, man. Like I'm just throwing out ideas. I think these are cool photos, and definitely could have a spot to shine. Could have a life outside of this paper.
Yeah, and I mean, just because like, I don't know, I could really like feel this. I could feel it.
Yeah.
And that's like what makes it like, okay, so like this might be cool, like to develop.
Yeah.
Because like anytime like you're just kind of like throwing stuff out and you can't feel nothing, then like it's gonna be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta feel it.
Yeah, I think we could turn this into like, I'm seriously thinking like a 30-second short film, something like really short, that tells the story of this character, in like really quick steps.
Yeah.
what is that, 30 seconds, so that's like, yeah, 7 seconds an act, right? Oh no, that's 10 seconds an act. I was thinking 7 seconds a little square, because you have 4 of them. That's cool, dude. I think that's a fun idea. If you want to do that, maybe jot some like story ideas down, and like shoot it my way, and I can see, I can like provide some notes, or turn it into a script or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Or alternatively, we can, and this is, I feel like such a dork. Alternatively, we can just focus on getting the artwork made, so that it doesn't look, or so that it's, let's do that.
Further.
Let's focus on that first stage, because maybe then the character can come out through the artwork a little bit better, and we can storyboard in that way.
Yeah, because we'll see what people come back with. They're gonna come back with some crazy stuff, like maybe some good stuff, but it's gonna be more crazy stuff than like good stuff. Like,
yeah.
Whenever we were sourcing the Albo podcast, we were like, a lot of the stuff we saw, we were like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's they made us look like Dr. Manhattan for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And then we chose the one that literally just like was like these random like superheroes.
I know. It was funny. It was a good time, dude. Long live Albo. But I think that's a good plan, dude. I think I'm gonna have to drop off. My throat is absolutely killing me, but I'm really glad we got to talk about this, JD. I'm really excited. Like, I'm sure my voice doesn't show it, but I'm like really pumped for this creative venture. I'm gonna go on a bit of a story, but it was funny. I worked on this book with my sister. It was like a short children's story, and I immediately turned it into like a short film. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna adapt this into a short film, and I feel like I just did the exact same thing to you. It's like, hey man, look at these cool photos I drew. Like, oh wow, yeah, let me turn it into a film for you. It's like, Chase, what are you doing?
I love that.
This isn't your project.
No, dude, I love that, man. You're excited. You get involved. That's one of the things I admire about you. You're just like all about like ideas and like development, pushing stuff forward. So I appreciate you having me on and looking at my silly photos. Is there a way we could, once we start having the conversation about the pictures, we could be like maybe record an audio clip for like right before we start having that conversation, like check out CLSC to look at what we're talking about or something, just like JD's lame little scribbles, blah 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 blah, like
Yeah. I can.
Except they're not lame, they're cool.
They're
very
very
cool. So go look at them.
And it's the potential for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're all about.
Yeah. Go check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you were doing ad libs.
Oh, now.
Yeah. Well, that's sick, dude. Yeah, I'm excited, and we can work out like the details on how this gets like presented to the folks listening, and see where it goes. I'm really excited to potentially turn this into like a short film or something like that. That'd be sick.
Short film.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. But
yeah, dude, that'd be cool.
All right, dude, I'm gonna stop the recording. I'll catch up with you later.
All right, well, thanks so much. It was a pleasure as always.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
catch you soon, man. Peace out.
Whoa, hello everybody. I hope you all enjoyed that episode. I certainly enjoyed, the conversation with JD, and I know you can hear it in my voice. The energy was just so low. I was so sick recording that episode, and I wish I wasn't sick, but I'm glad we got it recorded, because we need to record, that energy, that feeling that JD was having and wanting to express, like right then. I knew we had to do it, so I'm glad we got to get on the call and capture that, because I think this new project, this new idea that JD has, it's a bit of exciting. It's a bit of excitement, and that energy. I always love new projects, and that's why I get like carried away with them when I find something that's like piques my interest. I like latch on, and then it's like, oh, well, what if we took these thumbnail sketches you had and we turned them into this whole universe or whatever. I just let my brain keep running and running and running, and when somebody tells me to stop, I'll stop. But until that happens, I'm just gonna keep going. But I'm excited to talk to JD again someday soon and hear more about this project, or maybe he's working on something else now, and it's like, no, that was just a one-off idea. I think that project was enough. The place where it's at now is enough for me at this point. And it's like, all right, that's cool, man. We can talk about other stuff, no big deal. But I am excited. Nonetheless, okay, I think last episode I sort of teased like, hey, I might have an update for you all, like a change in my approach or behavior or whatever, and I'm not doing that anymore. I know I teased it. Maybe I'll have an update. I don't have one. So as far as y'all are concerned, I am continuing to work on my screenplay, and I actually made some really good updates, or progress, I guess. I wrote like 3 or 4 scenes over the week, and that was really good. That was like the first time I'd actually making substantial progress, I felt like, in a really long time. So I was really happy about that. As far as everything else, what are your goals looking like? I know I ask you all to set your goals every week, and I hope you all are setting your goals and are achieving them. If you want to get in contact with me or like update me on some of those goals that you're working on, feel free to shoot me an email at theimprovedpodcast@gmail.com. It's a great way to get in contact with me. I monitored that email address and all of that. I do want to shout out to Green Bean for all of our musical intros and outros. And I want to give a shout out to you all of the listeners. I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for leaving a 5-star review. Thank you for sharing the podcast with all of your friends and your families. Anyone who's, in this age or wherever this, topic might be interesting to them. Feel free to share with your friends and your family who are looking for, creative folks to work together on stuff. And with that, I think that's everything from me. So I hope you all achieve your goals this week, and I'll see you Monday for another episode of the Improve Podcast. All right, goodbye.